Guys, my name is Groot, and today we have a problem of an array, which is about finding a element which is occurring the maximum number of time in an array. So this problem is maximum occurring of an element in an array. So today we're gonna talk about this problem, and then we're gonna look at the different types of solutions and its time complexity. So let me give you an example of this problem first. Let's say we've got an array, and this array is a integer type array, and the elements are, let's say, 1, 2, 1, and 3 and 1. So as you can see in this array, like we have uh, 1 here and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 again, and the element which is occurring multiple number of times is 1, which is occurring 3 times. So the answer for this problem is gonna be 1. Similarly, let's say we've got an array which has, let's say, number 5 and 5, 4 and, let's say, 9 and 1 and 2. So in this case, like, we don't have a number which is repeating multiple number of times. So in this case, the answer is gonna be 0. So this is the problem description, and now we are going to look at the solution of this problem. So the problem, let me write down the problem first. Problem description. And so this is a problem about maximum occurring element problem. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the solutions. So solution number one is by using brute force technique. So let me write it down for you here. Brute brute force technique. So what we actually do in this technique is that we create two different loops, and we, with the help of this loop, we traverse in an array. So the outer loop is going to traverse throughout the array, and then the inner loop is going to find out the maximum occurrence of a particular element, and then it is going to store that count in a variable, and then it will compare the maximum count and display the result. I'm gonna show it to you by writing the actual code. So yep, this is what happens in brute force technique. So let me write the time complexity here, which is big O of n, and solution number two is all about sorting the array first. So sorting array, and the time complexity of this algorithm is gonna be big O of n n log n. Similarly, we have another solution to this problem, and that solution is by using hash maps. So if you are doing this in C++, you can also use hash tables. And the final solution, which is also the most optimized solution, is the Moore's voting algorithm. Moore's voting algorithm, whose time complexity is big O of n. So to the problem description, which is maximum occurring element in an array, we have four different solutions. And what we are going to do right now is we're going to look at each and every single solution deeply and understand how it actually works. And then we are also going to analyze its time complexity. So without any delay, let's get started now. So solution number one, we're going to talk about that right now, which is brute force technique. So let's get started. First, let me clear it out for you. And all right. So yep. First, let me write some comments here. Brute force technique for solving maximum problem. So first thing first, let me import all the required files. Oh, we already have this here. So all right, let me import java util package. All right, so scanner sc new scanner system dot in, and I'm gonna declare a test case here. I'm sorry, this int sc next int while minus minus is greater than 0. All right, so here, so what I've actually done here is I have declared a variable called t, which is a test case. And so this is like, it's like um, you are running this code for like t test cases. Let's say you put a value of t10. So this code, this particular code right here that I've written right here, is going to execute for 10 different times. And then you can test 10 different inputs here in this code. So that is what I've done with this piece of code here. So let's go further. And so we need an array here. So let us declare an array first. So let's say arr and new int. Let us give the size of array 5 for now. Okay, we are done with this. So now let us um, insert the elements in array. So how we're going to do that? We're going to do that with the help of for loop. Int I 0 I less than 5 I plus plus and I equals to sc dot next. All right, we are done with it. So with this piece of code, what we have done is we have inserted integer elements in an array. So now the actual solution to the problem starts. As I said earlier, like in brute force technique, we need two different for loops. One for traversing each an element, and the second for loop for counting the occurrences, right? So that's what we're gonna do right here now. Int I 0 less than 5 for int j less than 5 j plus plus. Okay, we are done with it. So we have I here and we have j here. All right. So this is gonna be 1 here, and okay, so we are going to test this condition where if ai j is equal to AI, the solution, the max count plus plus. All right, or we can do this, or we can do it this way. Yeah, this is how we can do it. So what I've done with this piece of code here is, let's say we have an array of size 1 1 1 1 2 3 4. So what we've done here is that we are checking it. Let's say ARRJ, J is 1 here. If ARRJ is equal to ARRI, then we are going to increment the count. All right. So we need to declare this somewhere, right? So that's what I'm going to do right here. Let's say count is equal to 0. And yeah, we are done with it. So if this is the case, we are going to increment the count. And now, now what we are going to do is we are also going to declare another variable called max count here. So, and now we need to print the answer, right? So for answer, we're going to have another variable, and it's going to be 0 as of now. So int answer equals to 0, int max count equals to 0, int count equals to 0. All right, we are done with this inner loop. Now what we need to do is we need to check if count is greater than max count or not. So we are gonna do that. If max count is greater than um oh, I'm sorry, if count is greater than max count, what we are going to do is um we're gonna do this. Max count equals to count, and the answer is gonna be ARRI. So this is the code that I've written right here. So let us check this code now. So all right, we have a for loop here outside, which is traversing each and every elements, and we also have another for loop over here, which is counting the occurrences of the particular element where I is pointing to. So all right, we are done with this code here. If ARRJ is equal to ARRI, then increment the count. All right, and the moment this loop terminates, we are checking the value of count, and we are comparing it with max count. And if the value of count is greater than max count is gonna be equal to the count. All right, and the answer is gonna be ARRI. So let me run this code and see if it gives correct output or not. All right, I'm gonna hit this run button here, and let me pass some values. Let's say 1 1 1 2 and 3. Index out of bound for length 5. Okay, so this is giving me index out of bound. All right, all right. Mm, Index 5 out of bounds for length 5 at Java 20. Okay, let me do this with 0 first and then see if it works or not. Okay, 1 and 1, 1, 2, 3. Index 5 out of bound for length 5. Okay. Array j is equal to arri. Um, what we're gonna do here is, let's say we put I here, and then it is going to start from I, and then okay, this is the problem. This is where I'm having the problem. Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, I fixed it. One and one and one and two and three. Oh, I forgot to print out the answer, so let me do that here. Answer. Hit run again. Answer cannot be resolved into a variable. Why is that? Why is it telling me like that? What's the reason behind this? Answer cannot be resolved into a variable. Answer cannot be resolved to a variable. Whoa. Why are you telling me this? Because it's out of scope here. So let me put it right here and hit run button again. This time I'm sure it's going to run. One, one, two, boom. It's going to give you a true answer. Oh my god. It is giving me wrong answer. Why is that? Count is greater than next count. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This is where I'm having the problems. I'm gonna cut this down and then I'm gonna paste it here and it will solve my problem. Okay, now let me check the code now. One, 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 two, three. Here you go. We got the correct answer. So yeah, it was kind of tough for me to do this, but yeah, this is how we get the answer. So this is where I was having the problem because I had to put it here and I had put it here, and and like if you put this code out here, then it is not going to, like, every time you count the variable, it is not going to start from 0. So that was the reason why it was giving me the wrong answer. So yep, this is how we solve the maximum count problem with the help of brute force technique. So I hope you understand this video and have a nice day. Thanks for watching this video.